Okay, what's up, everybody? Sorry I missed you on Saturday, but got it on Sunday, I guess. It is Sunday, isn't it? I hope so. Yeah, it looks like it's Sunday. Um, okay. Hang on. I gotta set me a timer so I don't get too windy on this thing. Yeah, let's go. Here we go. So what I'm seeing, this is your weekly March Bitcoin futures. Um, you can see the red line is coming down. That's your commercial, your big money. That's a problem. That could be why we're mostly rolling over. Now, the public, the small speculator, was your biggest seller. That reduced, I believe, it was 80% last week on the public. But this indicator actually shows on Larry's commercial index the green small speculator as going up. Now, their net position did actually go up, so I'll give you that. That did that reflects accurate. The red line, I'm not so sure about that. Now, the net position does show accurately. Looks like it reduced on the red line. Reduced. Um, your hedge funds are starting to accumulate. So, but the way they invest is they buy in dollar cost average all the way down. And then when it starts back up, they start to dollar cost out. They start to sell when it starts going back up. So it's a little deceiving. So you got to watch your open interest line. That's this pink line, purple or whatever color that is. Um, that's coming down. So you gotta guesstimate. Okay, where is this selling pressure coming from? And it's coming from your commercial sellers. Could be the grayscale people taking profits. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, could be Jamie Dimon for all I know. I mean, it could be it could be your hedge funds. It could be your brokers. It could be, technically it says dealers on the COT. That's how they identify the commercial money or the big money, smart money, the whales, whatever you want to call it. So now the sentiment is getting close to it's getting down in the oversold, but I mean, this could just be getting started. I mean, we could come down for at least a 3 to 4 week correction, I think. Uh, Most likely till about February, middle of February, maybe. Um, I'm going off of uh, a certain report that I can't really mention where I got it just for copyright trademark purposes, um, but let's just say I'm guessing around February 10th. Okay, that's what I'm guessing. The 10th to the 15th shows a pretty good bounce point. Even on the seasonality, you're showing we're due for a little bounce. I mean, it could bounce till, yeah, I mean, that's showing February 16th, but then it's showing back down till the 23rd, and then, kind of sideways to up, till about the middle of March, maybe 1st of April, and then it's showing mostly down until about June. That's your seasonality, what it normally does on an average year. So, I mean, you've only got, or you have, I guess, back to 2014, where Bitcoin became chartable on the data. This is March data on the future, so that actually didn't become chartable until 2017. So this indicator works better if you have, say, at least 10, 20 years of data. So you can't really bet the farm on this just off a seasonality or a cycle forecast. The cycle, I would bet more money on that, just because of where it comes from. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, the man has 61 years experience. So I'm not going to bet against somebody with that kind of experience. I'll tell you that. I've seen his forecasts be extremely accurate too many times. Um, Okay, so let's all right. And the February futures on Bitcoin, pretty much same thing. Commercials are selling, small speculators buying, hedge funds are accumulating. Um, Here again, your sentiment's oversold a little bit. It's not extremely oversold. It's not in the buy zone yet. Where you're getting a really good discount. You actually want this sentiment to be, below your green line, like it was, like over here, here, over here. You can see if you bought every time this green line went below the bottom green line, you made money there every time. I mean, that's a easy. You're betting against your average analyst or guru. I don't know where they get this data. I don't know where Larry gets his data from, but uh, it's pretty darn accurate though. The will val, that's measuring it against gold. It's starting to sell. Get get a better discount compared to gold, but I'll show you here in a little while what the count says we're on. So all right. Let's see. That's too fast. See, I was going to do a zoom in on this Williams indicator. You can see it a little better. Um, we've also lost our 4-week moving average. That's this blue line up here. That's a major problem. By TD sequential rules, once you've lost that on a weekly basis, now you've started a number one count to the downside. So you could theoretically speculate that we could get a 9 to 13 weeks of downside if it completes your 9 count. Now it doesn't have to. We could get a 4-week correction and bounce right back. I did ask my mentor on Saturday on a webinar if I could use this will stop indicator on a weekly basis as a stop loss. And he said you could on a long term trade. You could use it on a weekly basis as a stop loss. So uh, that's saying if it closes below pretty much 37,000, 36,995, uh, you'd want to get out. Definitely. That would be a long term stop loss. If you wanted to use that, you could. Not financial advice. None of this is financial advice, but just for entertainment purposes only. Wink, wink. But okay, so here's the Dow Jones Futures Weekly. Um, We're looking, the commercial money is extremely at the bottom on selling. So that's a little bit of a concern. I don't think you're going to get a huge stock market rally. I know it made new high or whatever, it broke out on the S&P on Friday. I think they're head faking us. I think it probably retraces and sells off next week. I think they're tricking the public into buying in, and they do that a lot, and they're really good at it. And most people probably fell for it. But if you see this, when the commercials are out, you don't want to be betting against the commercial money. They know more. I don't know how they know, but they know more about the economy. The economic, the macro, how the economy and everything is projected in the future. I mean, there's countless, you know, factors that most people don't even know how to look up or calculate. I mean, I don't know how to predict the future on the economy. I mean, I can look at the building permits. I can look at the ISM manufacturing report. I can go off of that. I can use your dollar index. That's mostly the problem. I think is your dollar index. This is your March futures on the dollar index, and you can see commercial money is in the buy zone on the dollar. So you're on week 3 of going up. So you could complete a 9 count. The dollar could theoretically go up till around March, the third week of March, March 22nd, March 26th, whatever. Um, so I would be careful on that. That's causing pressure on commodities, gold, silver, oil, stocks, crypto, everything. When the dollar starts going up, most of the time it causes problems on most assets that you can invest in. Live cattle, for example, it's live cattle is on a nice uptrend weekly. I should have stayed in my contract. At one point, I was in at 167.75. It's up around 174 now. I got stopped out. I made $90 on it. I should have made at least 1,000, but I probably should have made like 5,000 if I would have stayed in it long term. But I started messing with my stop loss. I moved it up, and I got stopped out that day. Like, uh, in intraday, I've learned you're better off just leaving your stop loss alone. Once you set it, forget it. And I mean, you can move it up you can do a 3 day trailing stop, move it up to your low point on your 3 day low point, kind of trace it up. That's what I've been taught. But so commercial money still in, small speculators still in. They actually increased on the big money. Yeah, soybeans set up pretty good. I don't know why it's giving this wick long tail here. I don't think that actually happened, but your big money is in. It's set up really good. Sentiment below. I mean, soybeans are beat up. It's due for a bounce. Seasonality, you're due for a bounce, at least till March 1st. Uh, you can see your commercial money has been accumulating since November, so that's due for a bounce pretty quick, I think. And I believe you're on a 9 count, 8 or 9 count on soybeans. Larry said wheat was actually set up a little better. He said it was a little stronger. I'm not seeing a lot of strength on the wheat chart. That's March futures of wheat. Uh, Most of your January futures have rolled over. Some of your February may be getting rolled over pretty soon. I'm not. I'm still kind of new on the rollover process, so I'm trying to figure that out. It's kind of like when your options expire. So in commodities, you got to roll that contract forward to the next month if you want to maintain your position. Wheat March, I'm not seeing commercial money yet in the wheat, so I'm not buying wheat. I'm sorry, I'm not. I may be going against my mentor there, but I'm using his own rules. So gold, I'm not interested in gold. The commercial money's out. You got hedge funds selling. You got even the small speculators selling. Now you're large. They're accumulating, but it's nowhere near bounce time yet. Natural gas, commercial money's out on March futures. I'd leave that alone. That looks like a seasonality sell point coming up into January. You can bet against it. You can short it, but if you don't get a pretty good rally, I wouldn't touch it. Silver, same thing. Commercial money's out. You want to follow the smart money. Follow the money. That's the oldest trick in the book. Nearly every mentor I've ever learned from always said, follow the smart money, and most time you'll make money. I mean, it's probably 99% in some cases, but with crypto, I would almost bet it's 99.9% chance. But your bonds, commercial money's out. Bonds are probably going to come down till most likely February 23rd, end of February. After, end of February, you got a pretty good seasonality until like August, 1st of August, so I'd stay out of bonds. I'm staying out of bonds. I don't, I'm not going to try to tell you what to do with your money, but that's what I'm doing with my money. And the dollar index, I don't think it wouldn't be a bad idea to buy the ticker UUP. That's like if you have an IRA or a stock portfolio, you can buy the ticker UUP, and that bets on the dollar going up. I don't think that's a bad idea. And in this environment, when you got commercial money going all in on the dollar index on March futures, I would probably bet on that. Now we could get a little small correction next week. It could pull back to this 102.47. It could, I don't know. I mean, that's a 50-week moving average. That one, this blue line here. Uh, Ideally, I'd like to put that on a 10-week, but um, let's go to let's go to symbolic. Look at Bitcoin futures. I had a problem with this weekly candlestick right here on January 7th, the week of January 7th. You had a long tail to the upside, and it closed near the bottom of the candle at the end of the week. That's a problem. That's usually a topping indicator. Sure enough, it was. You rolled over, sold off. Not a bunch. I mean, it's like 4 or 5% for the week. It's not terrible, but your pinch punch, Larry's pinch punch, Larry Williams pinch punch indicator hit a high of 68. I've seen it as high as 70. I think 78, 70 something back in 21. Right here was 79. It says it was 79, I think. Is that right? Yeah, 79. For some reason, it didn't work on the blow off top in 2021. I don't know why it doesn't. He only got a 35 right here. I don't know why. So that it doesn't always work. It doesn't always talk to you. I don't know how he calculates it. Don't really care how he calculates. I just care that it works. It's another tool in the tool belt to tell when you're due for a trend correction. You could go off this TD sequential. Once you hit your 9 count on a 9 weeks in a row, usually you're getting close. You could go on up to a 13. We could complete this continuation sequential 13 count, and it probably will eventually. It may complete it sometime in March. Who knows? You need another 8, weekly counts, and that goes on a 2-week pattern. So if this candle closes higher than 2 weeks back, then it gets a number 2. Same thing, it continues on up. But so that's what I was looking at with Bitcoin. On the scan, we didn't get a whole lot. DYDX came up on a daily sell perfection. Weekly, it's already down. I want to say like 7 weeks or something, 6 or 7 weeks. So you're kind of late to the party on that. Yeah, it's on a 7 down week count. So, ideally, it would have been better to short over here back in November, but everything was booming back then. So that's extreme weakness. If everything was booming from October, September to December, and this thing's selling off, the 20th of November, that's extreme weakness in my opinion. But it can still go down another, 2 or 3 weeks. I don't see a problem with that. You can short it. If you're on a day chart, you've got 6 or 7 more days that this thing could come down. Now, day 3 might bounce. That's going to be technically Monday. I don't know. We'll see how everything plays out with the S&P and the dollar. I think you're probably going to get a sell off, a little pullback on the S&P. That's what I'm betting on. I'm short the S&P right now. So either going to be a hero or zero, one or the other. But you got to choose one, or just stay out, stay in cash, and stay on the sideline. CME, I didn't find anything new. January 16th, you had platinum that showed up, and it worked, but platinum futures trade really thin, so they don't trade enough volume. According to my mentor, he says he doesn't trade them because they don't trade but maybe 200 or 300 contracts a day. So I don't really mess with that. But now the Japanese currency, the Japanese yen versus the dollar, it was set up on a perfection, didn't work on a daily. It's still coming down. A lot of times you will get your 10 bar. That'd be a 13 count, technically 13 days down in a row. It's probably due for a bounce short term. I might bid that 0.0067140 if I was going to play it. I don't play Forex, but Let's see, Coinbase. Yeah, there's no buy perfections. You could do crypto weekly. Let's see, 9 week. A weekly buy perfection. I'm sure there's nothing showing up yet. I did see one. It's called Robit, RLB, and it's set up on I think 8 or 9 week. I bought it through my MetaMask wallet, probably most likely through Uniswap, but I didn't buy a lot. I bought like $100 worth or something, but I may put some money in there and buy some more of it sometime this week. So I'm watching that. Ethereum BTC did show up on a weekly buy perfection. That was December 24th. Actually, that was October 30th on that. Why is that show? Yeah, right there, October 30th. Um, you didn't get much price action until January, but now you can see Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin pretty drastically. I mean, that went up 17% in a week. So that's saying Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin by 17%. Um, as far as January 8th, the week of January 8th. But, a lot of these weekly, I mean, you're kind of late to the party on these. That's December 18th, and it worked. You'd have made money if you shorted this. Uh, but yeah, this is a buy. So October 16th was over here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing. I would probably be looking for short sell opportunities right now. And like I say, DYDX was one of the ones that came up. I ran a scan last night on a 4 hour sell perfection. You've got a few more to choose from now. I shorted Theta on a 4 hour. Um, so far, it's working pretty good. I shorted up here on this 9 hour. It's down. It's working. You got your sell perfection right here, your red triangle. Just a flip flop of your buy perfection. It's a sell perfection setup. Now you've got Matic set up on it. You can take that short sometime whenever this 4 hour candlestick completes. The time frames are a little off. That's 10. I think that's Eastern time. So that'd be. I don't think it started a new candle yet. Let me see. Let me go to. Let's see, Matic, MITIC, USDT. Let's pull like Binance on it. See what it looks like on a 4 hour. Yeah, it's definitely on a 9. You got 34 minutes to complete this 4 hour candlestick. If you wanted to wait for confirmation, you could wait until this closes below your 4 hour moving average on a 4 hour candle, on a 4 hour chart. You want to time it a little better, you go down to a 1 hour. You've already started selling off. You're on a 4 count coming. Well, technically, it's sideways. I mean, it dipped down good here, but then it rallied off of that. So, if I was going to short it, I'd probably throw in a price at 0.7985. I'd short it right there. You might even short the top of this candle was around 80 cents. If you were going to bet against Matic. One of my worst trades was betting against Matic. So dang sure have a stop loss if you're going to play leverage. Technically, if it gets above this 85-cent zone, that's probably where I put my stop loss, around 85, 86 cents. If I was going to short it. I target, I don't know, I'd probably target maybe the 76. Could go down to 75, could come down to 73. I don't know. LRC, Ultra, Shiba, ADA. Um, I don't like shorting Doge just because Elon can throw a tweet out at any time and that thing can rally 30% in 5 minutes. So Shiba, Doge, anything related to Doge or Elon, I just leave it alone. I'm not betting against it. I'll tell you that. ADA, I might bet against Cardano. Uh, it's worked. If you shorted here, you were wrong for 8 hours, but now you're making money. Not a lot. I mean, maybe 1%. Um, so that's something you could. I'm gonna start playing with this a little bit on the 4 hour. Uh, I've just noticed my 1 hour trades weren't working that great. If you don't have a 4 hour setup, most time your 1 hour trades don't work that good. Uh, it's kind of like going from a weekly to a daily setup. If you don't have the setup on a weekly, most time your day trade, your day action doesn't work that great either. So most everything is on a sell signal, this weekly sell signal, um, on nearly everything that I've looked at. If it doesn't have the sell signal, it's at least topped and it's down 20-30%. So we're a little late to the party to be shorting. I mean, really, ideally, it'd been awesome if you could have got this 74-cent short right here on Cardano, but uh, it's hard to call the top. It's easier for me to call bottoms than it is to call tops. I believe, let's see on my scan, maybe, what was it, daily? A daily crypto, weekly. What was the last weekly sell? Weekly sell perfection. I want to say Sui. Yeah, Sui came up December 25th on a weekly sell. I mean, that's one of the hottest coins on the planet. Uh, Chart control. Sometimes this works. I hate their software, man. Why will it not show up? Oh man, what is this thing? How does it go from 2024 to 2018? I moved the thing like 3 times. There we go. All right. Symbolic, you got to get your act together, bro. I don't know what you're doing, but you're starting to piss me off. I mean, I'm not going to quit using them because I'm addicted to it. I got to have it to make money, or you can't scan for this stuff. You don't know. You can't. I mean, it's printing money, so you might as well keep using it. But Sui, I mean, if it gets back up here, around this 134, 35, I'd probably short it. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get, I'm not going to short it. I'm going to be honest with you because it's too hot of a coin. Now, Joe, that would have been a good short up here, December 25th. You had your sell perfection, but I mean, you had it on Sui also, but you see what it did. I mean, it went straight up for 3 weeks. Now it pulled back on this week. Uh, you're down at least 13-14% on this week so far. Um, so, but your pinch punch is 56, so that could still go higher. This was a good trend call right here when it got above 60. Um, where did it get 60? Right here on the 9? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was 68 right there. I would wait for that 9 count by perfection. You could have made a killing on this one if you would have got. Let me see if I can price, see what you would have got. If you'd have bought the 9 and got anywhere close to the top, say right here on the week, you'd have made at least 174% on your money. Wow. That would have been nice. I didn't get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even know Sui existed. I don't know how I missed it. I'm trying to work on how to scan for